I don't know how Brat Summer, like, teaching yourself to embroider is, but I think teaching yourself just enough to kind of poorly embroider the word brat on a t-shirt is very Brat Summer. Brat has been by far Charli XCX's most successful album to date, and obviously that has a lot to do with the extremely high quality of the music, but as a club dance record, it's surpassing even Charli's 2022 album Crash, which was designed specifically to lean into the more commercial aspects of Charli's artistry. I think has a lot to do with the marketing of the rollout. As Sky Ferrari on Twitter said, Brat's marketing campaign is going to be studied in universities all over the world. So let's write the syllabus. I've got my massive Brat calendar. We're going to stick events as they happened in chronological order. The first day of the Brat rollout for the general public was January 29th. Charli posted this list of marketing ideas she was sent to Twitter and Instagram before later posting a filmed version to TikTok featuring several of her friends. The text post includes things like Charli gets caught shoplifting at a mall and leaks the CCTV footage. Charli crashes drag brunches to sing her own songs, and Charli attends the Met Gala dressed as Anna Wintour. I like this idea because we get to hear and are encouraged to imagine Charli doing all of these things without her actually having to do them. And of course the text post is fine, but video of Charli and her friends reading these ideas out loud is obviously better. The best parts of the video for me are Charli saying,
Charli gets her nipples pierced at Claire's.
This guy I don't know who is clearly almost too intoxicated to read his line.
Charli is the balancer of a huge New York Fashion Week party, and she denies everyone entrance.
And who's that in the background, laughing at her colleague's slurred speech? None other than actress, comedian, and internet hot girl Rachel Sennett.
Charli leaks sex tape. Von Dutch is playing softly in the background. Really is.
Welcome Rachel Sennett to the Bratosphere. So January 29th was the general public's introduction to the era of XCX6. If you'd really been paying attention, you might have noticed on January 22nd, Charli posted a few tweets referencing XCX6, but by the 26th, some fans had already heard some of the new album. January 26th, Charli posted the first snippet of music from the new album to her 360 Brat Instagram account. 360 Brat is Charli's private account on Instagram. It currently has 148,000 followers, so clearly she's let a lot of fans in since creating the account, but 148k is not a lot compared to the 5 million she has on her public account. And anyone can see the post from that account whether they're following her or not. So while 148,000 might sound like a big number, in practice, it still feels very intimate and exclusive. I don't remember exactly when or how I got accepted into the 360 Brat following list, but I was for the whole of the Brat rollout, which, as a Charli XCX fan, made it that much more exciting. The snippet she released on 360 Brat, we now know, comes from the song Von Dutch, but it's distorted and different from the finished song. Charli has asked her 360 Brat followers not to share what she posts on that account because she tends to post things there first. Lots of the things from 360 Brat that I'll be talking about today were teasers for things that are out now, so I feel comfortable talking about that. But this distorted version of Von Dutch has never been released outside of the private account, so if you're not following, you're kind of out of luck. Now seems like a good time to talk about the different stickers on my mini album covers. The things that Charli posts on her public social media accounts don't get any stickers. The pink stickers are for anything 360 Brat exclusive. Later on, we'll also have blue stickers for Charli appearances on platforms other than her own. So like magazine photo shoots or podcasts. Red for any IRL promotion, things that weren't just meant to be posted online, but to be seen in the real physical world. And yellow stickers for miscellaneous. All right, let's ride. January 30th, Charli teases her Party Girl DJ set in collaboration with Boiler Room for the first time. We later learned that this will take place at Boiler Room's New York City location on February 22nd. Also on January 30th, a fan spots Charli driving around, hood down, wind in her hair, blasting a new song. The fan posts a 12-second clip to Twitter. Okay, that's probably not what actually happened. This was probably staged, as an article I'll talk about later heavily implies. But Charli didn't post this video on her own social media until after the clip had already made its rounds on Twitter independently. So the effect for fans was essentially indistinguishable from if this had occurred organically. Iconic behavior either way. I probably should have put a blue sticker instead of a red. Oh well. The next day, January 31st, Charli releases the first official snippet of new music from the album to her public social media accounts. 360 Brat followers recognize the snippet as an undistorted version of the clip posted on January 26th, and the same song that was leaked the day prior. A longer snippet of the song is also posted to 360 Brat. On February 3rd, Charli posts the longer 22-second snippet from the new song on her public accounts, and then goes on to use the sound incessantly in every TikTok for like the next 2 weeks.
I'm your number one, yeah. I'm just living that. I'm just living that. I'm your number one. I'm obvious. I'm your number one. I'm your number one. I'm your number.
Popping bottles in the ice like a blizzard.
On February 6th, Charli posts a snippet of a new song we now know as Spring Breakers to her 360 Brat account with a caption, "Not on the album." I'm told by the Charli XCX wiki that A.G. Cook actually played this song during a DJ set in early 2023. Call me a fake fan for not already knowing that. I can handle it.
Hi, it's me. You're all in danger.
But this Instagram post and caption were the first hint that we'd be getting a deluxe version of this album that didn't even have a name yet. February 8th, Charli is featured in Perfect Magazine, looking stunning as always. Also on February 8th, Charli posts a TikTok with Addison Rae to the sound of Von Dutch. Charli has worked with Addison Rae before on the absolute banger that is To Die For.
I'm just living that life. Fun, that's called classic, but it's still
But this is Addison's official welcome to the Bratosphere. Welcome to the Bratosphere, Addison Rae. February 9th, Charli releases the artwork and title of her new single, Von Dutch. I think we already knew because of Rachel sent it, but it's like official.
Von Dutch is playing softly in the background.
February 13th, Charli posts this image to Twitter with the caption, "Before XCX6." This was, in hindsight, the first tease of the bright green color that would come to define the era. Besides maybe this picture of glowing green toilet water that Charli posted to 360 Brat back in March of 2023. But I really doubt she'd already committed to the album cover all the way back then, so February 13th. February 19th, Charli is featured in Face magazine. Of course, she looks stunning, but this photo shoot is also accompanied by a pretty long and really interesting article that's free online, so I could actually read it. It's kind of long, so I can't cover everything, but we do learn some key pieces of information, like that Charli is planning a music video starring her It Girl friends Gabriette, Julia Fox, Paloma Elsesser, and Alex Consani, and that Charli is over this idea of metaphor in beauty and art. I just want directness from me. I want things to feel quick and fast and dirty. February 22nd, Charli performs her Boiler Room DJ set. I, unfortunately, was not able to attend. As a quick aside, I have a little public service announcement. The next time Mike's Mike can't make an event, just hit me up. I'm available. I, of course, saw plenty of clips of the event online, so I knew that we got some new Charli music, but with low quality recordings and everything, I, along with the rest of the world who couldn't attend in person, could not be sure exactly what new music all of those lucky fans got to hear. Let's move on for now, and I'll come back to the Boiler Room set later. February 26th, Charli teases the Von Dutch music video. We learn that the video will come out along with the song on February 29th. Along with a video snippet tease, we get to hear the opening line of the song for the first time.
It's okay, just admit that you're jealous of me.
It's giving famous. It's giving airport.
And then it's giving, like people say that too. Like it's giving green couch. No, it's a green couch. It's not giving anything.
February 27th, Charli announces a 360 Brat exclusive vinyl. The caption is a link to the storefront to buy this exclusive vinyl, which, keep in mind, still doesn't even have a name at this point. So naturally, I click the link and I buy XCX6. Whatever that is. I didn't have to wait long though, because the next day, February 28th, Charli releases the album title and cover art. This was a crazy day because everyone on the internet had something to say, and a lot of it was not positive. People were asking Charli if it was a placeholder album cover. They were telling her to hire a graphic designer. They were calling it lazy and boring. Where are these people now, I wonder? I've always liked the album cover. I know I liked it before it was cool. But only the passage of time could prove how iconic this album cover truly is. From here on out, for me and many others, probably even people who didn't like the album cover at first, Charli now owns this color green. A whole generation of gays will not know this color by any name other than brat green. And to be honest, she kind of owns Arial Narrow, the font, as well. Not to mention the way the cover reflects the sound of the music, like minimalist, messy, like digitally created imperfections. Sublime. February 29th, Charlie releases Von Dutch and its music video. For some reason, it came out like 11 a.m. my time on a Thursday, so I was sitting in class at the time. It took everything in me not to like run to the bathroom and watch it on my phone. The only thing that stopped me was that I knew I could come back to my apartment afterwards and watch it on the TV. Definitely worth it. I love this music video. Charlie's giving this incredible, like, I'm that bitch and I know it energy, coupled with this really interesting antagonistic relationship she has with the camera that really sets up what the rest of the Brat era has in store for us. As for the song itself, Charlie's described it as kind of a diss track, the only one on the album, she says. It can be kind of fun to guess the color of my underwear. Anyways, it can be kind of fun to guess who certain tracks are about. And for Von Dutch specifically, I personally like the idea that it's about Charli D'Amelio, just because I find the hashtag here for Charlie situation so deeply funny and unserious. But of course, we'll never actually know for sure who it's about. Probably not Charli D'Amelio. But at the end of the day, that's not what matters. What matters is this song is banger. March 2nd, Charlie launches bratgenerator.com. It's this really simple website where you can create your own Brat cover with your own text. This is, I think, a really underrated part of the Brat rollout. I haven't seen a lot of people talking about it because memes can be such a major contributor to the promotional cycle of a pop culture moment. And I think giving your fans an extremely easy to use tool which they can use to create their own memes, even if they don't have experience with image editing software, is really smart. Not to jump ahead in the timeline too far, but at some point after the release of Brat, and it's the same, but there's 3 more songs, so it's not, the website gets an update to include this white version, which allows for more text, and which I used to create all these cards, so thank you, Charlie. Also March 2nd, Charlie attends the Brit Awards. She loses Best British Pop Act to Dua Lipa, but she easily clears Best Dressed. Like, no contest. Except maybe Caroline Polachek. Sorry, Dua. March 5th, Camila Cabello teases her new song, I Love It, for the first time.
I love it, 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 ooh.
It doesn't sound like anything Camila's done before, and lots of people, myself included, kind of think it sounds like she's drawing inspiration from artists like Charlie. Charlie does this quite often, where she uses like a word or short phrase in rapid succession over and over to create this almost texture with her vocals.
I shake it, I shake it, I shake it, ooh. I shake it, I shake it, I shake it, ooh.
This is at least in part just a feature of the genre she writes in, but I personally think Charlie and her collaborators do it better than pretty much anyone. But the song people were really comparing this new Camila track to was I Got It from Charlie's 2017 mixtape, Pop 2, which I can see why.
I love it, 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 ooh. I got it, 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 yeah.
Anyways, welcome to the Bratosphere, Camila. March 6th, Charlie attends the Billboard Women in Music event, wins the Powerhouse Award, and performs So I, a new song from Brat. I didn't let myself watch this performance before the album release because I wanted to hear the recorded version in the context of the album first. But I went back and watched it later, and of course she killed it.
I'm performing a new song tonight. I've never performed it before. This song is about a person who is really, really special to me who's no longer with us. My heart is beating really fast. It's called So I. Thank you.
It's okay to cry, so no, I can cry, so I cry.
And I will always appreciate anyone who uses their platform to honor the legacy that Sophie left behind. March 7th, Charlie shades Camila Cabello with an I Got It TikTok. She's lip syncing to her old song, dancing around in her car, clearly referencing Camila's I Love It tease with the caption, LOL.
I got it, 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 yeah.
Later that day, Charlie tweets, come on, mess is fun, nothing matters. Clearly it's not that serious for Charlie, hopefully it's not that serious for Camila either. And this little basically non-existent feud that Charlie is performing online illustrates many of the themes that would come to define the Brat era. Feeling hot and iconic because you're influential enough that other people are referencing you, but still feeling the need to be a little petty because of your insecurities. Maybe specifically about commercial success, which arguably Camila Cabello has had more of than Charlie. I've seen some discourse about this moment recently. People saying that Charlie ruined Camila Cabello's album rollout. If one TikTok with some subtle shade is enough to ruin your whole album rollout, then the music probably wasn't that good to begin with. And this is coming from someone who loves the song I Love It. Like, that shit's on my Brat Summer playlist. I love it, I love it, I love it. Ooh. March 8th, the Brat trucks take to the streets of London. Iconic IRL marketing. Not much else to say here except I want one. Also, I feel like I should mention, at one point, at least one of the Brat trucks had the word Kesha on it. At first, people thought this was teasing a collaboration between the two, which hasn't materialized yet, so maybe she was just wanting to promote Kesha's upcoming music release. What is going on with Kesha, by the way? Because didn't Lil Nas X just do this to us with Kesha too? Like... Or this might be a reference to the fact that Charlie's social media person accidentally tweeted out, "Thanks for nominating me for a Brit" from Kesha's account. Anyways, stream Joyride. March 11th, Charlie updates us on her nipple piercing journey.
I'm just living that life, bondage, classic, but it's still pop.
I love how she was able to bring it back around. March 12th, Charlie teases us with Gabriette, Selah Mitchell, and Rachel Sennett.
I'm just living that life, bondage, classic, but it's still pop.
Seems like they might be working on that music video Charlie teased in the Face magazine article. March 15th, Charlie and Addison Rae teased the Von Dutch remix. We hear the Addison Rae scream for the first time, and it's iconic. I almost wish I could have heard the scream like in the song for the first time. I would have actually lost it, but like, I get it. It's too iconic of a moment not to use for promo. March 20th, Charlie and Camila address alleged drama. The Twitter account PopBase tweets out a quote from a Camila interview with Paper Magazine. Quote, "I love Charlie and I love Charlie's music, so I think comparing us is a huge compliment. Charlie loves me, so everybody can f*** off." Charlie quote tweets this with, "I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it." So there's officially no beef. This is a vegetarian feud. March 22nd, the Von Dutch remix with Addison Rae and A.G. Cook is released. And it's almost better than the original. The scream is truly everything, and it makes it the perfect song to play live. March 23rd, I watched Bodies, Bodies, Bodies for the first time. This is a movie I originally learned about because Charlie wrote a song, Hot Girl, for the soundtrack. I'm a hot girl, bitch girl, I'm a bitch girl. I don't know exactly what finally influenced me to watch it, but it probably had something to do with the fact that Charlie put Rachel Sennett, who stars in the movie, more on my radar in the previous few months. I enjoyed it a lot. Like 4 out of 5 stars. Rachel Sennett is, of course, hilarious in it. This is my favorite moment.
You're the murderer! I knew it! You're such a bitch! You're such a fucking bitch!
I didn't murder anybody. Yes. Jordan!
March 24th, the Rachel Sennett Bodies, Bodies, Bodies clip ex Addison Rae scream audio starts going viral on TikTok. I cannot, for the life of me, find who created this mashup originally because they deserve like a Chili's gift card or something, but this audio is perfect.
You're the murderer! I knew it! You're such a bitch! You're such a fucking bitch!
Probably my favorite TikTok to use this audio is Terry Joe.
You're the murderer! I knew it! You're such a bitch! You're such a fucking bitch!
March 25th, the first leg of the Brat Tour is announced with 7 dates. Also March 25th, the first leg of the Brat Tour sells out. Probably the biggest shame of the Brat era is that I will not be seeing Charlie live. I can't afford tickets. I spent all my money on these posters. Don't let this video flop. I need to make that money back. So like and subscribe, comment, share the video. March 28th, Charlie's Boiler Room set is posted to YouTube. Now those songs that the people who were in attendance got to hear are available for the whole internet. Since it was a DJ set, Charlie and her crew got to like mix in little bits and pieces of certain songs into the set, but she also played a couple of new songs like in full. Let's run through the set list because I want to. Charlie opens with Club Classics, a new song that at the time no one had heard before. She plays this one almost in full. She transitions into Vroom Vroom. then Every Time by Britney Spears.
Too slow, too slow.
Then she plays Spring Breakers. Then she plays Addison Rae's To Die For.
Spring breakers. I need you to make some noise. I need you to make some noise. For Addison Rae.
Then A.G. Cook steps in and plays some of Addison and Charlie's vocals from the Von Dutch remix. By the time the Boiler Room set was posted to YouTube, we'd already heard the remix, but for people live, A.G. was selective enough with what he played that it's possible the crowd didn't even realize they were listening to the Von Dutch remix. Then, A.G. transitions into the piano part from Mean Girls. With the vocals Charlie recorded for the title track of his at the time unreleased album Britpop layered on top. He also plays some of the instrumental bits from So I, and some vocals from Everything Is Romantic. Then Charlie tells us that Julia Fox is here to play her new song, Down the Drain.
We have a very, very, very iconic special guest in the building. Her name is Julia motherfucking Fox. Do you know her? I think you know her. She's gonna sing a new song for us. I'm a bitch, I'm a girl, I'm a woman, I'm a whore. I'm a bitch, I'm a girl, I'm a mother, I'm a whore.
After Julia, Charlie introduces her fiance, George Daniel,
Make some noise for my sexy fiance.
who starts by playing a mashup of club classics 365 and Deli by Ice Spice.
Gonna jump when it drops back, 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 back. When I'm she a baddie, she show her panties. She shake it like jelly.
Love it. Then the actual best part from the set, a mashup of slowed down vocals from Mean Girls with Face Shopping by Sophie.
This one's for all my bad girls. That's right, that's right, that's right. That's right.
I don't care if something good happened to Blizzy McGuire, it should have happened to me. Then George plays the Welcome to My Island remix, which I don't think I realized everyone likes as much as me. And as George ends his bit of the set, we get to hear some talk vocals for the first time.
I've been looking at you. Putting her in your head.
Easy Fun takes over and plays what I'm calling 365 Party Girl. It seems to be like a remix of 365 that Charlie's been using for album promo and playing at live shows a lot, but isn't an officially released remix or anything.
365, go. 365, go. 365, go.
He plays Unlock It, then 1999, before we get to hear a sped up version of Sympathy is a Knife, our first taste of that song. Easy Fun hands the reins back over to A.G. Cook, who plays Von Dutch, a couple other songs, and ends the night with I Love It, the perfect closer. The Iconopop I Love It, not Camila Cabello. That would have been good too, I don't know. Invite me next time, Charlie. Invite me next time. March 30th, Charlie posts snippets of club classics and back-to-back to 360 Brat. I don't know that we fully decided how we're pronouncing this song title when we say it out loud. I say back-to-back. I don't know if B2B is right. It sounds weird. I don't like it. But at this point, since we'd already heard club classics during the Boiler Room set, the back-to-back snippet is like a lot higher value. And I love it. April 1st, Charlie is featured in Vogue Singapore. This article is not as compelling of a read as the one for Face magazine, but she talks a little about the album cover art, as well as her Indian heritage and multicultural background, which I haven't heard her talk about much elsewhere, so if you're interested in that, you might check it out. April 3rd is a big day. Charlie releases club classics and back-to-back, the Brat track list, and announces the UK arena tour. Of course, I love club classics, but back-to-back is definitely my favorite single from Brat. The production just like scratches an itch inside my brain. The Brat tracklist release is also exciting for fans because we get to go back to the Boiler Room set and guess which songs we've already heard parts of. You'd probably have been able to guess Talk Talk, Mean Girls, Sympathy is a Knife, and maybe even Everything is Romantic. And there's not really much to say about the announcement of the UK arena tour other than that she used this picture of this cute little sandwich bag as part of the promo. April 8th, Charlie decides to be messy on Twitter again and announces that she fixed the Brat album cover. I was talking earlier about meme culture being an important part of pop culture promo. In this particular post, Charlie is memeing in the face of everyone who doesn't appreciate the actual album cover, and I think that's a fun and appropriate response. Plus, this was the perfect picture to use for my Brat Summer playlist. Thank you, Charlie. April 12th, Charlie posts this image to 360 Brat, teasing something with Troye Sivan. April 15th, Charlie uses the same image in a TikTok using audio from one Lady Miss K, who never misses. Mother.
I've been thinking a lot about twinks today. Really just have twinks on my mind. I love y'all. I appreciate everything y'all do for the world.
April 16th, Charlie continues to tease something with Troye over on Instagram. Something called Sweat. April 17th, Charlie and Troye officially announced the Sweat Tour, which they'll be co-headlining. It's not exactly the Brat Tour, so my haters will wonder what it's doing on the Brat calendar. But because the number of cities Charlie's visiting for her solo shows is so limited, there are a lot of fans for whom the Sweat Tour will be the tour that they see Charlie during the Brat era. So I'd say it firmly belongs in this video. April 24th, Charlie quote tweets Taylor Swift. Taylor, on Billboard's review of her album The Tortured Poets Department, writes, "What a crash, what a rush." Of course referring to lyrics from her song Florida, featuring Florence and the Machine, which Charlie quote tweets saying, "Everyone's hyped for the Sweat Tour," of course referencing her 2022 album Crash and Troy's 2023 song Rush. I think this is an underrated tweet because it's at once promo for the Sweat Tour, but also weirdly connected to the themes of Brat. It's very, I'm your favorite reference, baby. And it brings Taylor Swift into the Bratosphere. Welcome, Taylor. April 28th, Charlie releases a snippet of 360 to 360 Brat from a parking garage. April 29th, Charlie announces 360 and its release date, May 10th, and posts the snippet to TikTok. May 2nd, Charlie goes live on Instagram. It's live footage of Bratwall paint drying. Welcome Bratwall to the Bratosphere. The Bratwall is so important to the Brat rollout cycle that I've decided to make my own. Mine's just like poster board though. I thought about using my green screen for this. It would have been way less effort, but its physicality and the ability for you to go like see it in the real world is like such a major part of the appeal of the Brat wall. So I had to actually like physically create mine too. Anyways, later that day at 5:02 p.m., Charlie tweets, "The Lot Radio, 7 p.m." and then the address of the Brat wall. And then 2 hours later, she appears in front of the Brat wall atop her car and plays Von Dutch, Club Classics, the Von Dutch remix, and 360 for hundreds of fans. On the one hand, it must feel good to be able to get this large of a crowd on such a short notice. But on the other hand, it's like gays in Brooklyn, Fork Fountain Kitchen. Like May 6th, Charlie attends the Met Gala, not dressed as Anna Wintour, unfortunately. She escapes relatively unscathed. I didn't see her on any like celebrity block lists. May 9th, the morning before the release of 360, Charlie announces the 360 music video and releases the opening scene on TikTok and Instagram. Welcome back, Rachel Sennett.
Okay. Her. Me?
Interesting.
Love her. Totally waiter vibes.
But I wouldn't walk up to the Harry Bush and go, "Oh, Harry Bush vibes." I would say, "You have a Harry Bush."
May 10th, Charlie releases 360 and its instantly iconic music video. I do love the opening scene. I think it's really funny. Yes, Charlie, you get that Google money. Also, if you don't know, this is a reference to Twitter user and longtime angel Sky Ferrari. Charlie's talked about him a few times. My favorite of their interactions has to be this one. I don't know of many other pop stars who would reference a specific fan in one of their music videos. Also, Sky Ferrari and I are mutuals on Instagram. So when you think about it, it's kind of like I'm like only 2 degrees of separation from Charlie. Right? We're not just mutuals because he was doing like a follow for follow from Twitter. But then the rest of the video is filled with these like known but unknowable, really hot but in a scary way internet girls. many of whom I'm a fan. This is smart from a marketing perspective because the fans of all of these women might tune in even if they don't really know Charlie otherwise. And of course, all of these women get exposure to Charlie's fans by being in it. But this also feels very on brand for Charlie, almost even like a victory lap after spending her whole career supporting and encouraging other women in the music industry. May 15th, Charlie is a guest on Jake Shane's podcast. My favorite part of this episode has to be the bit where they talk about Below Deck.
I love Below Deck. Like, I cannot get enough of Below Deck.
What is so good about it?
I don't know what it is. I don't know. I think it's just like all these like people who just want to hook up and they're on a boat and it's a nightmare. And like then there are these kind of like guests who, you know, come into the charter and they're just also kind of a nightmare.
And then also at the end when they exchange contact info.
Should we like hang out outside of this?
I would love that.
Okay, really?
I would love that. No, I really would.
Okay, because I would actually like it.
I'm going to give you my number.
Please.
Because that allowed for this moment when Jake was doing prank calls for Elle.
I am calling Charlie XCX.
Hey.
Hey.
I was just watching your TikTok about scabies.
Okay, so do you remember when we were talking about Below Deck?
Yeah?
They invited me on for
Off.
a season. Yes.
Off. Are you joking?
No.
But what? Okay.
Would you come?
Would we be being like nice? I mean, we can't be like evil.
Okay, well, what if we were like with like a side of like vulnerability, and then like if anyone like tries to get mad at us, we're like, no, it's just promo for Brat.
I love it. What a surprise.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
no,
I have to tell you, this is a prank call. I'm on Elle's phoning it in.
Shut up.
I'm so sorry.
Shut up, you bitch.
I'm so sorry.
So ready.
May 16th, Charlie is featured in Rolling Stone, UK. This article is the longest, I think, but probably the most well-written so far. Some of the other articles touch on Charlie's thoughts on having kids, but this article definitely goes the deepest into that. Even revealing that the children question is the subject of the song I Think About It All the Time. The most interesting moment in this article, I think, is the moment in which writer Rachel Ewins reveals who Charlie says she's most jealous of in the music industry. She writes, if she had to name a female artist she has been most jealous of, fans would be amused to hear that it's Lorde. She quotes Charlie, when Royals came out, I was super jealous of the success that song got and that Ella got. You piece all this stuff together in your brain, like she was into my music, she had big hair, I had big hair. She wore black lipstick, I once wore black lipstick. You create these parallels and think, well, that could have been me. But it couldn't have because we were completely different people. Interesting. May 24th, Charlie clears up some confusion around this Brat UK tour promo image.
I got told off by the British Online Advertising Association for my UK tour poster, the one with the plastic bag, because they said it was like promoting bad things. So they said they had to remove the ad for the tour and that I had to change it. But obviously I was like, well, it's obviously a sandwich bag. So I just made it really obvious and put a sandwich in the bag for the new tour poster, just for anyone who thought it wasn't a sandwich bag. Like, what else would you put in this, obviously? So bringing sandwiches to the Brat's arena tour in the UK.
May 27th, the Brat wall is updated with the text, I'm your fave reference.
It's okay to disconnect me and jealous of me. Yeah, I heard you talk about me, that's the word on the street. I'm obsessed in this compulsive with jealousy. It's obvious I'm the number one.
So mine doesn't look great. It's just a little messy, which makes it more Brat coded. Right? I like to imagine two people on Charlie's team having like a heated debate about whether to use the American or British spelling of the word favorite. And Charlie just walks in and is like, just use the word fave, babes. May 28th, Charlie releases a snippet of a 360 remix to 360 Brat.
Lights, camera, action.
Got that really very special language, no one understands it. 3 child stars out here doing damage.
Also on May 28th, Charlie does Recess Therapy. This is a show I hadn't heard of before Charlie went on, but it has a cute premise. The host and their guest interview children at recess. It's really cute.
You like to party?
Not really.
Not everybody does.
People are just so energized, and I don't really like being really energized.
If you had to throw a party or you had to go to a party, what would that party be like?
Do my own thing.
I think a lot of people watching this are going to relate to that also.
Yeah, I'm crying.
Charlie, does this resonate with you?
Yeah, it really does. Sometimes you just want to do your own thing, you know, and like hang out with yourself.
And Charlie seems really good with kids. I think she would do great with kids. May 29th, Charlie releases another 360 remix snippet on 360 Brat. May 30th, Charlie announces the 360 remix with Robin and Young Lean will be out at midnight. So, on May 31st, the 360 remix with Robin and Young Lean is released. I'm not like a massive fan of either of these artists. I don't know them very well. Nothing against them. I'm just not familiar with their work. But I won't lie, this song didn't really click with me. Sorry, Charlie. Luckily, also on May 31st, Charlie is featured in British GQ, so we could just cover that up. In the article written for this magazine, Charlie tells the interviewer like the backstory behind that very first marketing ideas post. It was a real document that she was actually sent, and that she posted it online as a joke at the expense of the idea men on her marketing team. Well, yes. June 1st, Charlie performs at Primavera Sound, a music festival in Barcelona, but not before doing a cute surprise party girl performance before the show. During the main show, her setlist included the live debut of Everything is Romantic and 365. On June 3rd, to welcome us to Brat Week, Charlie posts several snippets of different songs to her different social media platforms. Sympathy is a Knife to Twitter, Talk to TikTok, Spring Breakers to Instagram, and Guess to her 360 Brat account. So if you've been keeping up, at this point, I feel like there's very few songs on Brat that we haven't heard anything from. The only songs from Brat you hadn't heard anything from are I Might Say Something Stupid, Rewind, Girl So Confusing, and Apple. And I think about it all the time. June 4th. Well, I'm going to be honest, I don't know for sure exactly when this happened, but I'm pretty sure it was June 4th, and there was like an open space on my calendar. So, June 4th, Charlie changes all her old album covers to be Brat themed. It's a unique feature of streaming services that you can go back and change that cover art for like old albums. The first time I saw someone doing this for like new album promo was 21 Pilots recently, when they put like red tape on old album covers as promo for Clancy. But I like this. I think it's fun. I think it's cute. June 5th, Charlie is featured on both the Sidetracked and Las Culturistas podcasts. Key moments from Las Culturistas include this part.
But I feel like, and I mean this on such a complimentary level, I feel like you've stuck to your the whole way through.
Thank you. Yeah, well, I appreciate that. It's funny. It's like, I think I can be bitchy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I'm a bitch.
Right?
That is a big distinction.
The audio of which had its moment on TikTok, of course.
I think I can be bitchy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I'm a bitch.
Right? That is a big distinction.
You know?
And also the moment when they asked her about the song Girl So Confusing.
And look, we're not entitled to any information. Okay?
Who's this about?
No.
Like, this is the first time I've spoken about this song.
Yes.
You guys are the first people to ask me. So I haven't quite decided whether I'm revealing.
Reveal, yeah.
No problem.
When I wrote it, I was like, I'm revealing.
Yeah.
But now, now the time is here. I'm like, oh, I'm revealing.
Totally.
Do you think I should reveal? My thing is, people are gonna guess.
Yeah.
So I feel like
I've already guessed.
Probably both have an accurate guess.
Yeah.
Outside of just like, the song's really good. It's like, it's nice to plant like, theories and ideas and let people like live their kind of Paris, Lindsay fantasy with it.
Engage
So
in that
it's fun.
It seems from the episode that Bowen and Matt had a chance to listen to the album early, but at the time of the release of this podcast, none of us common folk had heard Girl So Confusing yet. So what we know about the song going into release day is that it's about another woman in the music industry, and that Charlie is low-key encouraging us to speculate on who it's about, and is preemptively telling us that the fan consensus will probably be right. Messy. June 6th, Charlie's featured on Emma Chamberlain's podcast. It was a cute episode. Nothing major to report here, besides I learned that Charlie plans on getting into acting more, and also Charlie planning the most iconic wedding of all time.
We're like, we're gonna have this like really epic like station, and we're gonna have these people like walking around with like silver trays of and our like wedding planner is like, okay, like shall we decide like like the food, and we're like, it doesn't matter, everyone's just gonna smoke.
Are you wearing like a traditional dress? Wait, don't tell me anything. Actually,
I honestly haven't got that far.
Okay, great.
Also on June 6th, the Brat wall is updated to say Brat.
Number one, I'm your number one.
See, this is the beauty of the Brat wall. Like, it's never gonna say I'm your fave reference ever again. It's like the impermanence. I don't know. Hopefully it dries to the right color.
I'm just living that life, one touch, classic, but it's still true. I get money, you get mad because the backshot.
Okay, it's good enough, right? I've done worse. June 7th, Brat release day. 10 out of 10 Charlie, no notes. I'll do a quick one-sentence review of each song.
360.
Do I like what I see? Well, yes. I want to dance to Charlie. Wait a minute. Is this song about Taylor Swift?
I might say something stupid.
It's time to cry. Banger. Banger.
Everything is romance.
Banger.
Rewind.
Banger.
So I cry.
Pause the bangers, it's time to cry again.
It's so confusing.
Wait a minute. Is this song about Lord? Forever grateful that this song made the track list because apparently it almost got cut. My favorite of the singles, Impossible Not to Dance To, is a 10. Wait a minute. Is this song about my friend Juliet? No, on a serious note though, what's so great about this song is like, everyone has this friend, everyone knows this girl.
I think about it all the time.
Too emotional, too real. Banger. An immediate point of interest for the fans was obviously Who Is Girl So Confusing About. The two main names I saw floating around the internet were Marina and Lorde. Marina makes sense because they did like publicly have a little bit of a feud, but the fans seemed pretty convinced that it must be Lorde, specifically because of the people say we're alike, they say we've got the same hair line. Confusing Charlie for Lorde or pretending that Charlie is Lorde has been a meme in the fandom for years. It all started, I believe, when this woman was interviewing Charlie in October of 2014.
One of my favorite songs that you have is Royals. Where did you get the inspiration for that?
Royals came from, just me looking at like how I'm from New Zealand, from like a small town, and like I'm not really part of that bougie like lifestyle culture, so I thought I'd write a song about it.
I'm also pretty certain this was a pre-planned skit, but it's definitely based on a real story that Charlie tells about someone confusing her for Lorde. But because of this, people talk about the similarities between the artists all the time, and I was a Girl So Confusing is about Lorde truther from the beginning. To complicate this though, on Brat release day, Lorde posts praise for Brat on her Instagram story. What does it mean? I'm also definitely a bit of a Sympathy is a Knife is about Taylor Swift truther as well. Obviously the song is more complicated and nuanced than one single point of inspiration, but the lines, don't want to see her backstage at my boyfriend's show, fingers crossed behind my back, I hope they break up quick, seems to be hinting at Taylor. Charlie's dating George Daniel, a member of the band The 1975, and Taylor used to date Maddie Healy, lead singer of the 1975. The timeline is timelining. Swifties, don't get mad though. The song is clearly not a diss. It's mainly about how complicated it is to be a woman in the music industry, something that Taylor fans should know quite well. Anyways, happy Brat release day. On June 9th, those slutty little construction workers paint the Brat wall white. Sorry, I'm not actually gonna do that. I'm just gonna like start over.
I'm your number one. I'm your number one. Your number one. Your number one. I'm just living that life. One touch, classic, but it's still I get money, you get mad because the backshot.
Okay, so somehow I lost the footage of me talking about Brat, and it's the same, but there's 3 more songs, so it's not. So here we go. June 10th, Brat, and it's the same, but there's 3 more songs, so it's not, is released. The 3 songs in question are Hello Goodbye, Spring Breakers, and Guess. Hello Goodbye is cute, and Spring Breakers is iconic and self-referential in a really fun way, but based on the 360 Brat snippets, Guess was the song I was most excited for, and it did not disappoint. June 11th, Charlie plays a live show in New York. But more importantly for me, also June 11th, my 360 Brat exclusive vinyl comes in the mail. It comes with this sticker that you have to like rip open, and these perforated cardboard strips that you have to rip to like get to the stuff inside. Like to open it, you almost have to ruin the packaging, which is really cool and like messy and bratty. The only downside is that it's like a dance record and my apartment floors are kind of loose and wobbly. So if I play it and I'm jumping around dancing, like the vinyl skips, and that's not good. June 12th, Charlie plays a live show in Chicago. June 14th, Taylor Swift releases 2 new UK exclusive Tortured Poet Department versions. So Taylor has this habit of releasing extra versions and variants of songs and albums to maintain chart placement. The first time I remember noticing this was in 2022 when she was releasing all of these remixes of Anti-Hero, seemingly just to keep it at the #1 spot in the Billboard Hot 100. It stayed there for 8 weeks, making it her longest lasting #1 single, but in the process blocked SZA's Kill Bill from reaching #1. Kill Bill did eventually get the #1 spot, ironically, thanks in part due to the release of its remix, but not before the fandom drama escalated to a point where Taylor felt like she had to mention SZA in her thank you Instagram post for keeping her song at #1 for 8 weeks. For the sake of full transparency, I will admit that I did in fact buy the Anti-Hero remix featuring Bleachers. Not because I couldn't wait like the 2 weeks that it took for them to put it on streaming or anything, but because I thought buying something from Taylor's storefront, like connected to my email address, would improve my chances of getting pre-sale for the Eras Tour tickets. I mean, it worked. I did get pre-sale. And this is something Taylor's been doing since at least the Reputation tour, where if you buy merch from her store, you're more likely to get tickets. I have mixed but mostly negative feelings about this because it seems to imply that Taylor's best fans, the ones that deserve tour tickets, are the ones that already spent the most amount of money on Taylor. But whatever, I got to go to the Eras Tour. I got to see Taylor Lautner do a backflip.
There's one more song for Squeak now that we just have to play tonight.
But anyways, with the Tortured Poets Department, Taylor has opted for a similar strategy to keep the album at #1. When Billie Eilish released her new album, Hit Me Hard and Soft, Taylor released 3 extra variants of her album, each including 1 voice memo of an early version of a song from the album, either The Black Dog, Cassandra, or Who's Afraid of Little Old Me, and they each cost $5.99. People at the time were saying this was Taylor clapping back at Billie for some comments she made about big artists selling lots of variants of vinyls and how that's bad for the environment. Billie said that she wasn't attacking Taylor specifically, but fans took their own narrative and ran with it. But then Taylor did it again a few weeks later when Charlie's Brat and Bon Jovi's Forever were both competing for the #1 spot, not even of the Billboard 200, but of the UK charts. They were competing for the #1 spot. So Taylor released 6 UK-only online exclusive versions of the Tortured Poets Department, each costing $5.99, the first 3 being the same ones that she sold when Billie's album dropped, as well as an edition with Loss of My Life, live from Paris, an edition with My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys, live from Paris, and an edition with The Alchemy X Treacherous, live from Paris. Like with Billie, people are trying to rationalize why Taylor is trying to block Charlie from achieving the #1 spot. Is it a response to Sympathy is a Knife? But I don't think Taylor's trying to block anyone from a #1 spot, as much as she's just trying to keep that #1 spot for herself. I've seen some people online make this argument as a defense of Taylor, like Taylor doesn't see Billie Eilish and Charli XCX as her competition. She sees like the great legacy artists with all of these massive records as her competition because she's trying to beat those records, which I think is true, but I don't think it's a good defense of Taylor because my problem isn't with Taylor wanting to be competitive on the charts. In fact, that's probably why Charlie released Brat and It's the Same, but there's 3 more songs, so it's not during like the album release week to be competitive on the charts. My problem is with the anti-consumer business practices that this chart obsession promotes in Taylor. At time of recording, Taylor has released 13 extra versions of her album, each with 1 extra acoustic version, live version, or voice memo of a song that's like not available on streaming, each costing $5.99. So if you're a big Taylor fan and you want to listen to all of the extra content that's available this era, you're going to be buying the album 13 times over for $5.99 each. And not even for new songs. By that 13th edition, you'll be spending $6 just for an acoustic version of a song that you already own 12 times over by now. But that's just capitalism. Well, yes. Obviously, Taylor isn't forcing anyone to buy these extra versions, but she has plenty of fans that she will overpay for her work, and it just feels like she's kind of taking advantage of them. If Taylor was selling her music in service of the art, if she really cared about these acoustic versions and voice memos and live versions, if she really wanted her fans to be able to experience and appreciate them, then she could just package them all up into one package and sell them that way. But that would not help her maintain her spot in the charts. That wouldn't allow her to rack up a dozen additional album sales from each superfan.
Just wanted to say Taylor has since blocked Kanye from going #1, so I totally forgive her for everything. No, I'm just kidding. But I did want to clarify something. Lots of times when Swifties see critiques like this, they'll say something like, oh, y'all can't keep Taylor's name out of your mouth. Interesting how every time someone talks about Charli XCX, Taylor Swift comes up. Which, fair enough. But the reason that I talked about this in this video is not because I think that Taylor did some great harm to Charli XCX by blocking her. Clearly, that's not the issue I had, because once I started talking about my issues with Taylor, I didn't mention Charli once. The only reason I brought it up in this video is because Taylor's overzealous use of extra versions of her album was such a big part of the online conversation surrounding Charli's rollout.
Returning to Charli, she ended up debuting Brat at #2 on the UK charts and #3 on the Billboard 200. Her best debut yet, and she really deserves it. June 15th, Charli plays a live show in LA. During the show, she gives a little speech thanking the fans who understand her vision and saying that artistry shines through, before playing Sympathy is a Knife.
Artistry shines through, you know what I'm saying? I already know I'm not everybody's cup of tea, don't get me wrong, but I'm just really appreciative for the people who've been there from the jump. The whole thing that's going on right now at the moment, as people have been texting me, the moment, you're having a moment. It's very cool. But yeah, I just want to say thank you to all of you guys who, you've been here. And I just really appreciate that, because I would be nothing without you. So yeah, thank you. Seriously. What's the next song? Oh, it's Sympathy is a Knife. Interesting.
Maybe a dig at Taylor. Who knows? Have fun. Nothing matters. June 19th, Charli's a guest on the Tape Notes podcast. The best part of this one is when she's describing the mega club with all the different rooms that 365 takes place in.
This is a corridor.
Yeah.
This is you're walking down the corridor. You're getting a little bit fierce, and then you.
It's just a room. Yeah.
Now you're in a room.
Right. Yeah. Different.
Bathroom. Daft Punk room next door though.
Still bumping through the wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also on June 19th, Charli plays a Party Girl DJ set in Mexico City. During the show, she plays Girl So Confusing and then immediately follows it up with Green Light by Lorde. Is she confirming the subject of the song? Maybe something more? Could Lorde be on the... No, surely not. June 20th, Charli goes live on Instagram again. So yeah, the Brat wall got painted to say Lorde. The internet went crazy, and Charli announces that the Girl So Confusing version with Lorde will be out at midnight. Then, June 21st, the Girl So Confusing version with Lorde is released. This is unprecedented levels of iconic, levels of iconic heretofore unseen. On the heels of months of diss track after diss track after diss track in the hip hop world, I saw some people on the internet musing why feuds like this don't happen in the pop space and what would they look like if they did. And I think Charli and Lorde provide the best possible answer to that question. Work it out on their remix.
Okay, just hopping in here to say that this was a comment that I wrote really quickly without much thought, and since filming that part, FD Signifier released a really great video about the Kendrick-Drake beef. If you're watching this, I'm assuming you already know who FD Signifier is and have watched that video, but if you haven't, you definitely should.
Something I really love about this is you don't need to know the lore beforehand to appreciate the story of the song. The whole story is told within the lyrics. Like I said before, plenty of fans guessed that the song was about Lorde because of the people say we're alike, they say we've got the same hairline. But there wasn't much public information out before the release of the song that indicated that there was anything going on between the two artists. I don't think anyone knew, like, not even Lorde, apparently. I also love how Lorde kind of jumped in and perfectly matched the writing style of Brat. Very direct, personal, and raw. And I love how Lorde's perspective of their relationship is also all tied up in the themes that Charlie wrote about throughout Brat, with the insecurity and projection of it all, proving how honest and universal those themes are, especially among women. June 22nd, Charlie posts this screenshot of the text message she received from Lorde with a fully formed verse of the remix just in the text bubble. She's really playing into the honesty and vulnerability of the song by promoting it this way. At time of recording, the Girl So Confusing version with Lorde is the last release of the Brat era. I know Charlie's confirmed that new remixes are coming, and of course she's continued to promote the album since its release, but for me, this song was the emotional high point of the Brat era and the thing that influenced me to create this video in the first place. And I also don't have much more calendar left, so I'm gonna leave it there. Oh, there was one more update to the Brat.
It was a bit of a laugh. It's tongue-in-cheek, Danielle. It's tongue-in-cheek. It's funny.
Much like the okay bye of the real Brat wall not really signaling the end of the Brat era, the okay bye of my Brat wall does not really signal the end of this video, because one of the perks of taking forever to edit is that nearly 2 months have passed and I have more to talk about. So I'll provide the highlights from July and August. No new calendar though, sorry. The first big update for July was that Apple has become a runaway success. I had always thought Talk Talk would be the bigger breakout hit because it's catchy. It sounds more commercial than many of the other songs on Brat, and according to my extremely offline coworker at least, it's been getting some radio play. But no, thanks in large part to this TikTok dance trend created by Kelly Hire, the number of Apple streams surpassed that of Talk Talk in July. I had kind of naively assumed that this was a totally organic trend, and I think it started out that way because Kelly Hire's first TikTok of the dance came out all the way back on June 14th. And took its final form the next day on June 15th. But Trisha Paytas broke that illusion for me when she revealed on a podcast episode that she had been offered money to do the dance. She said at the time that she turned it down, but she has since done the dance. Get your bag, Trisha. I don't care, I still love it. And George, we're literally all begging you to do the Apple dance.
Baby, why don't you want to do Apple though? I think you should do the Apple dance. Why not? You can do it.
Push me.
But people want to see you do it. Why?
Fuck off. Don't.
It will make the song do really well. Do you remember what we said yesterday, George? Do you remember what you said you'd give me for my birthday? You said that for my birthday you'd do the Apple dance. Do you not remember? Why are you going silent now? So you asked me what I wanted and I said I don't want anything apart from eternal love and the Apple dance.
I said you can have one of those.
Oh, God.
We need you to do the Apple dance. I want to dance with George. On July 21st, President Joe Biden drops out of the 2024 presidential race. Joseph, I love you. Only for that, just for that. Kamala Harris becomes the frontrunner for the Democratic nomination. Charlie casually tweets out, Kamala is brat. Then Biden's campaign Twitter account gets rebranded to Kamala HQ, which uses the brat theme in its account header. And all of a sudden we have the Fox News and CNN news anchors discussing brat, even though they clearly have no idea what they're talking about.
Charlie XCX tweeted last night, Kamala is brat. Special Gen Z correspondent Jamie, what can you tell us?
It has a color, chartreuse. I have brought some notes.
So is the idea that we're all kind of brat and Vice President Harris is brat? I don't know
if you're brat. I think you aspire to be brat.
Right.
Jake. You don't just become brat.
Oh, okay.
You really want brats to run this country? They already do enough damage.
You don't understand the essence of brat summer?
I stand corrected.
Katie.
I'm going to color myself uncool. Brat means... They say it means you're just like a girl who's a little messy and likes to party and maybe some dumb things sometimes. I'm just trying to catch up to this. How does this help her?
Right.
Well,
that's embarrassing, actually, that's what they're putting on her.
Okay, well, it's because Charlie XCX said that about her. It isn't embarrassing. You're not the target demo.
The Kamala Brat connection goes back even further than this, though, because it was Twitter user Ryan Long03 who kicked off the wave of Coconut Tree pop song edits with his Von Dutch edit all the way back on July 3rd.
Of all in which you live and what came before you.
Plenty of people have already said this, but the Kamala Brat memes have been successfully not cringe because they originated organically from the bottom up rather than being forced on us from the top down. Without getting too much into politics in this video, Kamala has the Jackson Wagon official endorsement, if that means anything to you. On July 12th, Charlie performs another DJ set in collaboration with Boiler Room in Ibiza, and then on the 26th it gets posted to YouTube. The energy is as palpable as the first Boiler Room set, with the benefit of the album being out, so Charlie doesn't have to hide anything for spoiler reasons. I love this because, again, I won't be seeing Charlie live this era, so at least I have this. Plus, I prefer to bump that alone in my room anyways. Music, not, well, you know. July 31st, Charlie posts the single cover for the Guess remix with the name of the featured artist missing and the caption, Guess. Twitter user Ryan Long03 of Von Dutch Coconut Tree edit fame thought it would be a Kesha remix. I personally was with Twitter user Propaganda91 because imagine if this was Bridget Mendler's return to pop music. But most people guessed correctly that it would be Billie Eilish joining Charlie, thanks in part to the ring she was wearing on the single cover, which she also wore on her episode of Chicken Shop Date. Also, this just, like, looks like Billie. And if you were really, really paying attention, you might have even seen this clip of Billie Eilish talking about collaborating with another artist for the first time in a while.
We did a session with another artist. I did a session with another artist for the first time in 6 years.
Holy shit, when was this?
A
couple
weeks ago.
It was so fun.
And it was really fun, and I was really nervous because I was like,
wow.
I haven't worked with anyone but Phineas in 6 years.
That's right.
And I hated it back in the day. I really, really hated it. I hated studios. I hated collaborating. I've never done a feature.
Yeah, this was to me like such a fun part of like being in the music business. Was like Billie was sitting and telling me why she loved this one artist. And we were watching their music videos together, and I know them. And I was texting them, and I was like, "We're sitting here watching your stuff. It's so good." They were like, I'm in LA. I was like, do you want to do a day?
Did your stomach churn where you're like, wow?
Oh, yeah. Billie trying to get out of it like...
I was thinking, why are you making me do that? What are you talking about?
On August 1st, Guess featuring Billie Eilish and its music video are released.
Hey, Billie, you there?
Something shifted in the culture. Meaningless dumb fun is back. I almost don't want to get into the discourse because it was so dumb this time around, so I'll be quick. Some were saying this line felt predatory.
Charlie likes boys, but she knows I'd hit it.
No, you're just homophobic. August 14th, Charlie posts this TikTok with the sound of 360 vocals over the instrumental from Fleetwood Mac's Dreams, and the caption, maybe one more remix, and then... Pop Bass, Pop Crave, and all of the other pop culture news accounts on Twitter reported this as Charlie saying that there was only one last remix from Brat coming. But this caption is vague enough, and Charlie is mischievous enough that I'm not so sure. August 17th, Roblox's Dress to Impress gets its Brat update. I've never played much Roblox myself. It was a bit after my time. I was a full-time Pop Tropica kid. In fact, the only other time I've played Roblox was the last time that Charlie did a collaboration with them. She was doing like an in-game performance for the Crash era. But of course, if Dress to Impress is getting a Brat update, I will be playing. Logged into Roblox, ready to play Dress to Impress. I've only played this like 5 or 6 times before, and I've lost every time. Like dead last. I think I make cute outfits, but I don't know. So I played it the day that, oh, I've actually never done this before. I played this the day that the Charlie collab came out, but I took too long to film it before like some of the features of the collab like ended. Like they don't play Charlie's music anymore in game. We'll do some long hair. Blue, that's cute. And there's like not as many Brat themes as there were. That's a cute top. Could you get out of my way? Oh my goodness. So they've got all these like Brat patterns, but this theme is camouflage, so I guess we're going camouflage. We'll do gray camouflage. I did, oh, a hat. What about like a mini skirt? Oh, wait. I want the hat to be that. There we go. Okay, I need to do my makeup. I should have chose a skin tone first. Oh, that's cute. There we go. Oh, I need some shoes. Those are cute. I'll do a camera. Paparazzi. There we go. Baddie. Baddie alert. All right. Time for the runway. This is cute. I like everything. I'll give it a 5. Okay, like a different take on camouflage. I do really like it. It's super cute. This, they like halfway tried. Okay, I actually don't know how to get like the switch body type to male. I don't know how to do it. I've never seen it before. But okay, I like the tie. I really do. And the hat, the tie hat combo. I'll give it a 4. This one, I'm not really sure what's going on. It's not terrible, but I like the apple. I guess the apple don't fall far from the tree. I do really like this one. I'll give it a 4. Oh, who is she though? Cute. Cute. Let's see. We'll do club jump. Yeah, she should win, in my opinion. Like, I get it, but it's not as clever as the other one, like the all pink one. I like the all pink one more, so I'll give it a 2. Oh, see, everyone's so fake. Why am I not up there? I don't understand why I get last every time. That was a good, certainly better than some of these people. I don't understand. Everyone hates me. All right, we'll try again. 1920s. Okay. No, I'm not buying Robux. Is that why I keep losing? Because I'm not buying Robux? That kind of works. Oh, I'm looking for like a bob. Oh, this is what I'm looking for. Oh, I'll get like a cute little bag. I'm definitely gonna get last again. This is terrible. It's kind of cute. I don't know that it's really giving 20s. Okay, this one, the hair is everything. The hat. Do I need to like spend money on this game? This one is, yeah. Yes. No. That's terrible. You get a 1. Take your 1 star. Take your 1 star and get out of here. Okay, that's, why are we doing all that? I do like this one. Also not really 20s, but I like it. Why is this giving Lady Gaga meat dress? Ooh, who is she though? Not this again. I swear, if this person gets more votes than me, I'm gonna be pissed. Skirt physics could be improved. Oh, Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I didn't get last. Wow. I got 7th out of 11. That's not bad. All right, let's do one more. Hopefully it's a brat theme or something. Oh, the Olympics. I'm going brat Olympics. Oh, that skirt is actually so ugly. I changed my mind. We'll do the mini skirt. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I actually really do like mixing this like messy top bun with like a fun color. Do purple with like a longer, darker purple. Let's see, how does that look? It looks like shit. We'll try again. Let's do sneakers again since it's Olympics. And we'll match my makeup to something. But I do want to change my hair a little bit more. What do these look like? In pink. I like that. And we'll grab like a soccer ball or something. Yeah, let's grab a soccer ball. Can I make the soccer ball brat? Oh, let's go. Just got a tennis racket and some tennis shoes. It's cute, I guess. This one I really don't... Oh, she's the torch. She's the Olympic torch. That's hilarious. It's 5 stars for me. You think you can get me with the underwear peeking out, but you cannot. I'm a little bored. I don't know. I prefer the women. Oh, okay, cheerleader vibes.
But I wouldn't walk up to the Harry Bush and go, oh, Harry Bush vibes.
Ooh, look at her, though. Let's do a pose 20. The ponytail is kind of everything. Yeah, this one's really good. I'll give it a 4. Because I'm a little bit bored. Like, you didn't have to do white top and white skirt. I feel like Cody Cohen, Kelsey Kreppel judging like the Met Gala. I didn't watch a lot of Cody Co content before. I definitely don't now, but like he's not making any. But the one thing that I would consistently watch was his and Kelsey's like Met Gala fashion reviews. They were kind of funny. Oh, backflips. That's very sporty. Into a split? That's crazy. Don't be last. Don't be last. Rising star. Yeah, she deserved it. Hey, I didn't get last. I did not get last. Maybe I should become a gaming channel. August 21st, Charlie does a Skims collab. I don't really have anything to say about this, so August 23rd, Charlie is featured in Vogue Australia. In this article, Charlie talks about how she felt before Lorde heard Girl So Confusing. She said she was, quote, prepared for Lorde to never speak to me again because it's such a heavy thing. I knew in my heart of hearts that it was not a diss track, and I knew the feeling I was talking about would be recognized by so many women out there who have this sort of tricky, unspoken conflict with somebody that they actually do really like and respect. But it's just so hard to quantify. I also learned from this article that Charlie tried to play the song for Lorde before the album came out, which was my assumption, but apparently Lorde kept canceling last minute or whatever, so she truly didn't hear the song until the album came out in her time zone. August 26th, Charlie is featured in New York Magazine, and she tells them a lot of interesting information. First, she says, lying is so fun, so brat. Who made this rule that you have to be truthful and honest in the press as an artist? The press is just a tool. This again, for me, calls in the veracity of the claim that she only is doing one more remix. Later in the article, Charlie does name drop a song that she's been working on a remix for, Sympathy is a Knife. She even teases a few lyrics. She also says that random artists are calling, wanting to collaborate. I can't say who, but people I greatly respect. It's like being the new kid in school who people are fascinated by. And the article reveals that she was recently in the studio with Bon Iver and Danielle Haim. And on top of all of that, the article also reveals that, quote, soon there may be a full-length other project, though she won't call it a remix album. But it's definitely in the bratosphere, so to speak. She wouldn't call it a remix album, but it's a remix album, right? Charlie's never done a remix album before, but she's also never done a featureless album before, except for How I'm Feeling Now, which was featureless due to circumstances. And the remixes have been such a fun way to bring in other artists into the bratosphere. Another reason I don't think there's only one more remix coming is because there's no way we're getting Sympathy is a Knife featuring Bon Iver and Danielle Haim, right? There are a couple songs on Brat that I could see them doing a remix of, but Sympathy is a Knife is simply not one of them, which begs the question, who will feature on the Sympathy is a Knife remix. That is, of course, assuming that there will be a feature, which is, I think at this point, a pretty safe assumption. There was a rumor floating around for a while that it would be Katy Perry. No thank you. Historical precedence for Brat tells us that the artist the song is about will feature on the remix, but there's no way, right? Surely it won't be Taylor on the remix. Speaking of Taylor, the New York Magazine interviewer asked Charli about her too. I asked if she's ever considered leaving out the line about being backstage together, since it makes the illusion seem so obvious. No. We sit in silence. You do the silence game, but I know that well. Where you go silent and want me to talk more. But I don't care about it being awkward, she says. We'll sit in silence. This quote made its rounds on social media, but I think just as important is the paragraph prior. People are gonna think what they want to think. That song is about me and my feelings and my anxiety and the way my brain creates narratives and stories in my head when I feel insecure and how I don't want to be in those situations physically when I feel self-doubt. Being on tour with the 1975 could be disorienting in general. Sometimes I'd look on stage and be like, oh my god, I'm never gonna play these rooms, ever. That made me feel jealous, she says. I told Maddie that, and George. But then the really crazy part is that Taylor herself gave New York a quote for the article. I've been blown away by Charli's melodic sensibilities since I first heard Stay Away in 2011. Her writing is surreal and inventive, always. She just takes a song to places you wouldn't expect it to go, and she's been doing it consistently for over a decade. The photo shoot Charli did with New York also seemingly references Taylor. Several of the photos predominantly feature Charli's severed hand adorned with friendship bracelets. While not necessarily a Taylor reference, it's way too easy to read it as one. Obviously, Taylor didn't invent friendship bracelets, but as far as I know, Charli's never worn one, much less featured them predominantly, until her photo shoot with a magazine in which the article thoroughly discusses the Taylor-Charli lore. It's very suggestive, is what I'm saying. Since this New York article, the probability of Sympathy is a Knife featuring Taylor Swift has definitely gone up for me, but only from impossible to unlikely. Of course, I would love nothing more than to hear that song, but at this point, it would just be irresponsible to get my hopes up, and that's where we're at the current time of filming. I wanted to get this video out a long time ago, but I'm a lazy bitch, so if I end up finishing editing all this before the next remix release, I'll probably just post it and maybe a short follow-up later. If you've made it this far, I guess for some reason you're invested in what I have to say, so announcement time. At the end of all of my videos, I'm planning to start linking an additional unlisted video discussing the original video, talking about the process of making it, adding any thoughts that didn't fit in the video proper. This time around, I'll be talking about why I've taken so long between uploads besides being a lazy bitch, as well as sharing my ideas for the future of this channel and some more thoughts on Taylor Swift, if you're interested in that, or want a Gaylor update. If you're interested in that, you can click here or wherever on the screen it is. And I'll probably also create a playlist on my channel for them. If you haven't yet, you should leave a comment, like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Icon.